This conference will now be recorded.
Srini, can you unmute yourself and please let me know? Okay, then we are starting. I think nobody else is joining. Okay, so I think this meeting is already in recording. And
Hello.
This conference will now be recorded.
sorry.
Yeah, I give it organizer. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes and start it. Other Bakat is joining.
Okay.
Just now I call him. You can continue the discussion. We will join meanwhile.
Okay. First of all, let me clear because I remember Noor and this Ishayed is a new guy, right? To whom you were discussing.
This is Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
Yeah, Shahid is my ID.
Okay. So we have Noor.
We are good to start.
Okay, we have Noor, Ibrahim, and Bhakt, right?
Yes.
Okay, let him. Hi, Bhakt. Can you hear me?
Hi, I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible. Perfect.
Yes,
can you see my screen?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
Okay, guys. So, Bhakt, we have here Ibrahim and Noor. Okay. We all guys are starting now for Citrix. I will start from the scratch, guys. Maybe there are a few concepts which you are already aware, but no need to worry because that will be something which will brush up your concept. But that's my promise to you that in each and every session, although you know, but in each and every session you will get something new all the time. Okay. So just keep focus in the session as well as once you will get recording, if you will get time, it will be great if you just go through again. Okay. So few starting classes will be conceptual classes only. So today also I have to explain over the whiteboard and PPT like that. And once our concepts will get clear, then maybe after from the third class onwards, we will start with the practical part. Okay. Okay, let me.
So in terms of like kind of setting up our lab, will that be like from the third class?
Yes, correct. Okay. So if you guys have any doubt, feel free to ask in midway itself. Don't wait to class get to be over. Okay. Okay. So let me go here. So guys, as you are already aware about the virtualization concept, that anything which is not physically present to us, but still we are using, it's a part of virtualization. Okay. And the major virtualization is divided into three areas. One is server virtualization, then desktop virtualization, and application virtualization. Nowadays, we do have another virtualization as well, like network storage. So those also things that we can virtualize now. Okay, if you take an example of Google Drive, or you take an example of Dropbox. Okay, so that is a part of storage virtualization where you are storing somewhere else, but still you are able to use based on the quota limit, how much they are providing to you, you are able to use them. Okay, and you need not to maintain your storage concern. So that is something which is a part of storage virtualization. The first virtualization came up into the picture, that was server virtualization, which we say about hypervisor. Okay, so hypervisor was the first concept came up into the virtualization field because of maintaining multiple desktops, multiple virtual machine, multiple OS. Okay, and why this came into the picture? If I simply ask you one question, that you do have one laptop. Okay, this is your laptop, guys. Forget about virtualization right now. Simply I'm asking one question, that in your laptop or desktop, how many operating system you can install? Can anybody tell me?
In bare metal, it's I
No,
guess
no, no.
two.
Forget about bare metal right now. It's just think that this is your local laptop which you have at your home, personal one, and I'm asking you how many operating system you can install over there.
One.
One. Okay. Any other answer?
2.
Two. Okay. Let me explain more. Suppose in this particular laptop I do have 500 GB of hard disk. So I made over here C drive, D drive, E drive, F and G drive. Every drive is having 100 GB partition. Now how many I can do?
5 operating systems.
Okay.
I mean, you can install as many operating system, but like without a layer to manage them, you can only access one operating system at a time.
Correct. So the thing is, Noor is absolutely correct. So we can install multiple OS based on the drives. Okay. Now, how this particular thing depend? It depend on the partition type. So it's not like, okay, you can install a operating system into C and you can install in D as well. Or if you are trying to make a new partition, you can make it over there. No. To install an operating system, your drives should be active partition. Your drives should be active partition. Then only you can install the operating system over there. If you will ever open your disk management, there you will see that your C drive is your MBR, master boot record. Okay, so that's how we have to make all the drives active partition, and then only I can install the operating system over there based on the resources how much I have. But the concern is I can't access all the operating system at the same time. Suppose in C drive you have Windows 7, in D drive you have Windows 10. Okay. Now tomorrow, let's say you are working in Windows 7 and there's some application which you would like to test on Windows 10, then boss, you have to shut down your laptop, start it again, and when you will start on your boot screen itself, it will give you the option from which particular operating system you would like to continue. Okay, then in that case you have to select whatever you want, but you can't work on two operating systems at the same time. That's why we required one one layer which can share your resources across the OS. Because in this case, what happened over here, because we should understand the reason why we can't access. So the reason behind, suppose in your laptop over here, let's say you have 24 gig of RAM, okay, and you have two network card over here. Okay, the problem is complete resource, whatever we do have here, we can't divide this resource among the OS. Okay, the moment you will start your laptop, it will ask you, okay, you would like to boot with Windows 10. So complete resources will get assigned to the Windows 10 itself. So we don't have any layer in our laptop which can divide our resources among multiple operating systems. So that's why we don't have any availability of extra resources, and any another operating system can't boot. That's why we don't have any option as well. So we require a solution which can share your resources among multiple OS, and that solution comes into the picture with the hypervisor layer. So how it works? It's simple like this over here. This is your hardware area, okay, where we do have same thing, 500 GB of hard disk, 24 GB of RAM, and two network card. And based on top of this hard disk, you would have your operating system over here. Okay, like in your laptop, whatever operating system you have, base layer, And on top of that, here you are installing a layer called as a hypervisor. So hypervisor itself is known as a virtual layer. Okay, hypervisor is just a software which you are installing over here, and what it is doing, it is allowing your resources, whatever you have on the hardware layer, uh, to share among multiple virtual machines which you are making on top of it. So here, let's say you are making Windows 10, Windows 10, you are making Linux, okay, or whatever operating system is supported, you are making them, and you are assigning the hard disk size, let's say 20 GB, 30 GB, like that. So whatever resources you are assigning to them while creating a VM, that resource is coming from the hardware layer itself. Okay, so if you have enough resources available in your hardware layer, definitely it will work well. If it is not there, then obviously it won't work over there. Okay, so in this case, what will happen, whatever the resources your VMs are looking for, they will request your hypervisor. Your hypervisor will request your operating system, and your base operating system in your laptop will check with your hardware, and based on that availability, it will reply back. This kind of hypervisor environment, or this kind of virtual environment, is known as a soft layer hypervisor. Soft layer hypervisor. The problem in this kind of environment is that we do have a dependency on your base operating system in your laptop. So if your base operating system in your laptop is down, this part, if it is down, then your complete your production environment, or whatever you say, your complete environment will get down. That's why this kind of stuff we don't use in the production environment. Okay, it is just for your understanding purpose, it is just for your practice purpose. And here the major vendor are VMware Fusion. This Fusion is for Mac. Okay, VMware Workstation is used for Windows. Okay, and your Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, and there's another one called as a Red Hat KVM as well. So these all are the soft layer hypervisor. Clear this part, guys?
Yes.
Any doubt? Anybody?
It's okay.
Okay, fine. So now, to avoid this particular problem, we do have another hypervisor that is known as a bare metal hypervisor here. Bare metal hypervisor. Okay. In this bare metal hypervisor, what will happen? There is no base operating system, theoretically, but practically, yes, there is. Okay. So what happens here is, this is your bare metal box. When I'm saying bare metal box, it's simple, a box, okay, where instead of installing Windows or Linux, any base operating system directly, you are supposed to insert a CD or DVD of hypervisor. Okay, so in this particular box directly, here you have hardware layer, same stuff. Let's say you have 500 GB of hard disk, 24 GB of RAM, and 2 network card you have here. Okay, now on top of that, you are directly installing hypervisor, guys. Okay, and on top of this hypervisor, you are building your environment. So you can see there is no base operating system over here. Okay, whatever resources these VMs require, they will ask for the hypervisor. Hypervisor will check internally and will get reply and will provide you. So response obviously will be fast compared to the soft layer, and there is no base OS. So a dependency on a third party operating system is very less. This kind of hypervisor is also known as a type 1 hypervisor, and the major player are Citrix XenServer, which is now known as a Citrix hypervisor. Then we have VMware ESXi. Then we have Microsoft Hyper-V. Okay, and then we have Nutanix Acropolis. Nutanix Acropolis. This particular hypervisor is based on Linux OS, specifically SUSE. ESXi is based on Red Hat. This is based on Windows, and this is also based on Red Hat. Now guys, when I'm saying that these are based on Linux kernel, these are based on Windows kernel, what does that mean? So the meaning is that these hypervisors have a small operating system inside them. Okay. So if we talk about Citrix hypervisor, the moment when you will install a Citrix hypervisor, automatically a small SUSE Linux kernel will get installed in your box. And that's how it is aligned to operate. Because guys, one part is pretty sure that without operating system, your application won't work with their hardware. Okay, that is the purpose of our operating system, right? That our application should contact with the hardware. They can ask for the resources, whatever they are looking for. But all those things are possible only when operating system is there. That's why with these hypervisor, we don't have extra operating system, but they are coming with inbuilt a small operating system. When I'm saying small operating system means that doesn't mean that the moment you will install, let's say VMware ESXi, it will come up with Red Hat. So that doesn't mean that complete Red Hat OS will get installed. No, only a specific drivers, only essential drivers of Red Hat will get installed with your VMware ESXi based on the working structure, how ESXi works. That's it. Okay, so that's the reason that these hypervisor don't require any separate operating system over there. And these kind of hypervisors we use in the production environment. Clear, guys? Bare metal. Any doubt? Hello.
Oh yes. Okay. You will go over stuff.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Now in the bare metal we are installing for the it's only for like if we are going to use Citrix environment, Citrix XenNet we are using, or the VMware also we can use for Citrix.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This hypervisor, you can use
It's
anything.
only for
You can this
hmm,
hypervisor, you can use Citrix XenServer, VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix, Acropolis, because these are the only four major players. Okay, for the bare metal hypervisor, you can Citrix is
okay,
like supported with everything, so you can install anything over
okay.
there. Okay,
This is like same like the operating system instead of
operating system.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, only thing is these three hypervisors have their different mode of working. Let me explain that part also, so that you can
Okay.
decide, okay, which one you are looking for. Okay, so for example, suppose we are talking about Citrix XenServer first. Okay, so in Citrix XenServer, what will happen? Let's say you install Citrix XenServer in one box. Okay, suppose this is the box over there where you install Citrix Hypervisor XS, Citrix XenServer. Okay, now this XenServer, obviously you required one console from where you can manage this XenServer. So that console you can install in your laptop. Now let's say this is your laptop here, and in your laptop you install the console. That console name is Zen Center. Okay, and now here's the user. So means admin. So you can manage multiple Zen server from one Zen center itself, because these Zen servers are Linux based. So we required a console to manage all these hypervisors. So you can see here how many nodes are there. Only one and two. That's it. Zen server is the only hypervisor which work on two nodes. But if we talk about VMware ESXi or SCC or sorry Hyper-V or your Nutanix, all work on three nodes. That's why they have a complex architecture, but feature-wise they are very rich compared to the Zen server. Okay. Now if we talk about ESXi, how that works in this way. Here you have a ESXi box. You have a ESXi box over here, and this ESXi box you are connected with vCenter server, vCenter server, which would be a window-based server. And then this vCenter server will be managed through vSphere client, or known as a web client. So here, if you ask me which is the console, this is the console here, vSphere client or web client. So from this, you can manage multiple ESXi boxes. So here you have ESXi 2 that can be managed from the vCenter server. This is how VMware works. So how many nodes are there? 1, 2, and 3. So there are 3 typical nodes. Okay. Similarly, if you talk about the installation, Zen server installation is very quick, hardly take 5 to 10 minutes, and very easy to install. If we talk about ESXi, it's typical. Okay, and there are so many parameters over there in ESXi to set up. On top of that, you have to set up a vCenter server also, and then you can manage through vSphere client. Similarly, your Microsoft Hyper-V also works. Okay, that is also following the 3 node structure. So if you talk about the Hyper-V, this is how Hyper-V works. Here you have Hyper-V, although this is window based, but to manage Hyper-V, you require a SCVMM server. SCVMM server. And then to manage this SCVMM server, you require a SCVMM client. Okay. Now, if you have multiple Hyper-V servers, you can manage from one SCVMM server. This is how it works, guys. Clear?
So for Zen, so isn't like a third node like the XenDesktop or like the Zen presentation server?
No,
Isn't
guys. No. Forget about XenDesktop right now. Okay. Forget about presentation server right now, because right now what I'm talking, that is base layer, means hypervisor. XenDesktop, XenApp, provisioning services, all these things comes on the application layer. Okay, so right now no discussion about XenDesktop, because that is something which comes on top of it. Okay.
So with or VMware, you can't access the vCenter directly. You have to go through the client to get to the vCenter.
Correct. Yes. So here in VMware, to our virtual environment will be installed on ESXi boxes. But to manage ESXi boxes, we require to set up a vCenter server, and this vCenter server we can access from anywhere with the help of vSphere client. So that's why we say it follow 3 node structure. You can't miss any node from there.
Okay, interesting.
Clear?
Yeah.
Because suppose in this case, if you think, yeah, that's okay, I can skip this part. No, you can't, because ESXi boxes you can't access directly to the vSphere client. So that's the reason. This is how VMware designed their product. Okay, and similarly, Microsoft designed. Yeah.
So sorry. So does it have to be like I mean, is it a vSphere client, or just like so you can't RDP into the vCenter server and manage it?
No. It's not like, it's not about RDP at all.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's it's not about RDP. It's similar.
But,
see, you can just think that if you log into the facebook.com, and over there they provided you a profile tab, right? The moment when you click on the profile, at that time you have your complete entire surface with you, where you can change your photos, you can do whatever you would like to proceed with your profile. Similarly, we require a vSphere client, which is, you can say, an interface.
Right.
Through that, you can have a look, okay, how many VMs are running right now, or which particular VM have what kind of load right now, what is the CPU usage, what is the processor usage. So, it's like an interface altogether, where you can look around, okay, what is happening to your environment.
Right.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the Citrix, how they can manage, like in the VMware they have like a center point for vCenter.
That's
In
how they design.
Citrix, how to
That's
how
how
to
they design.
manage nearly more than 10 servers is there. 10 servers, how to manage each and every we have to go.
Yeah, correct. That's how they design the code in Citrix. Because okay, in Citrix we don't have any third node concept over there. So multiple Zen servers can be managed through one Zen center itself. Okay. So when I will set up the lab, there I will show you there's one concept in Citrix called as a pool. Okay. So with that particular pool, they are able to manage all these structures. But this particular concept, I would be able to explain you once we start the lab. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now this is about the hypervisor. Okay. Now let's switch to another one, which we are talking about your desktop. Sorry, before desktop, application virtualization came into the picture. Guys, if I ask you about application virtualization, what it comes to your mind? What are the stuff you think? What is application virtualization?
So you're giving access to just the application. It's almost like platform as a service type of model.
Okay, you mean to say like a PaaS in cloud?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anybody? Okay. When we are saying about application virtualization, as we are sure that okay, this is something like we are using application. We are using application which is not installed in our local system. It could be your laptop or something. Okay. The major benefit of application virtualization, which I feel as well, that we can access any kind of application on any kind of device. That is a major part. Right now, suppose you have an iPad and you are traveling somewhere, and all of a sudden, suppose you are working, maybe guys, you are aware about AutoCAD application, which people use in automobile industry, or maybe you are aware about the SAP application. I'm giving you the example with a heavier kind of application because these applications are very heavy when it comes to the processor consuming part and all. Now, suppose you have iPad and you are traveling somewhere and you have to use maybe some requirement came all of a sudden. Maybe you are a project manager and you have to work on the AutoCAD. Okay, then AutoCAD application normally you can't work in your mobile. AutoCAD application normally you can't work on your iPad. Okay, it's a very heavier application and it's not available on every kind of operating system. Now, if you have Android mobile, there is no supportability of AutoCAD with the Android mobile. But with the help of application virtualization, there's no concern at all about it. Okay, you should have a proper network connectivity, you should have a proper resource available, and then you can access this application from any kind of device. That is the plus point of application virtualization. Because at the back end, how this application is published, how this application is developed for you, you won't have any concern about it. You can simply access the application. Now you are on your mobile also, no problem. On your mobile itself, you can launch any application virtualization, maybe XenApp or something else, launch your application and start working. That's it. So that's the beauty of application virtualization. And the major example which you can take nowadays, that is about the email, right? If I'm giving example of the Gmail itself, if you go 5 to 6 years back, guys, then at that time, if somebody is sending you any email with an attachment, okay, what we have to do? We have to download that attachment first. And after that, we should have a supporting software in our device to open that document, right? Suppose if I'm sending you any PDF file, then in your laptop or device, wherever you are downloading it, to open that particular file, you need to have a PDF software. But nowadays, that is not the case at all. That's why we can access email from any device, we can open the attachment from any device because we don't have dependency on the application. That's the beauty of app virtualization. So in your Gmail right now, if you would like to download, it's your wish, no problem, but that is not the mandatory part. Suppose you would like to have just a glance, so you just click on a particular application and it will open. And how does that work? That work on a concept of file extension. File extension. So file extension is one of the concept inside the application virtualization. So here what will happen? Suppose I send you attachment with a .pdf file. Now the moment when you will click on your attachment .pdf, okay, what it will do? Gmail will read the extension. What is the extension of this file? And based on that, Gmail will open this particular file in the supporting software, whatever they have. Okay, and that's how this file will get opened with us. Now suppose Google is opening this file in their own software, let's say Google PDF reader. Okay, now end user perspective, you are here, so you will just look at on your file that your file is open and you are about to use it. But the application which support this particular extension and the application which is opening your file, that application is published somewhere else in the Google data center. In the Google data center at the backend. Now, what kind of virtualization technique they are using? Not aware. Maybe a hybrid environment or maybe their own virtualization environment, because Google is a kind of company where they develop their own, all the stuff their own, you know. Might be if you guys are aware, they have their storage technology also, they have their network technology also, everything they have their own. Okay, so whatever technology they are using at the backend, we are not concerning about it because that is the part of virtualization. So at the back end, how they set up, how they are making an application, and then with the help of cloud, they are providing those applications to you in the Gmail, and they are getting the attachment, and that's how you are able to open it. So this is the best example of application virtualization, which we are using day by day also. Clear this part?
Yeah, so but like I mean, is it more closer to PaaS or SaaS?
It is more closer to SaaS because there we are not getting any platform, we are getting just a software.
Okay.
Okay, so a platform, when we say about the PaaS, platform as a service, means okay, I'm giving you a platform where you can develop your own. That is not the case over here. We are not providing any platform, we are just providing the software that okay, this is the software, that's how it works, you can now work, that's it. Clear? So it's like a SaaS, not a PaaS.
Gotcha.
Clear?
Yeah.
One
And
time
even
only
though
one application is possible for the user, or more than one application we can provide it.
Multiple.
Only application
It's
only we can provide.
yeah, you will see once we'll start. It's all about how we design the environment. Okay, like in application virtualization, we have an option how many application you would like to provide to any user at a time. Okay, or how
Okay.
many application instances can be launched by multiple user at a time. So like all these things, these are known as a policies. So we have several kind of policies in our product. You will see that. Okay. Okay. Now this is our overview how application virtualization come into the picture. Now in this part, when we are talking from the Citrix perspective, guys, we have monopoly in the market. When we are saying monopoly, application and desktop virtualization, Citrix is like 98%, and remaining another players. Okay, because application virtualization is a old product from the Citrix. Desktop virtualization came after that only. Okay, and initially they started with the term called as like you know, metaframe servers, presentation server. So metaframe server was like version number 3. Then presentation server, it came up like version number 4. and then after onwards they stopped giving these names, and they acquired one company called as a Xen. Xen was a separate company altogether, guys. Maybe you guys are aware. Okay, they acquired this company, and then they modified their all the products like XenApp, XenDesktop, Xen Server, like this. Okay, and from 5 onwards, from version 5 onwards, they started calling as a XenApp. No more MetaFrame, no more presentation server altogether. And this particular XenApp was continued till XenApp 6.5 version, because till this 6.5 version, XenApp product was working on an architecture called as IMA architecture, Independent Management Architecture. Okay, but from 7 series onwards, everything got changed. Now it's no more on IMA, it's working on FMA architecture, Flex Multicast architecture. How it works, what is this, we will discuss in detail. Okay, so this, now we are saying about XenApp as an application virtualization. Okay, what are the another alternatives also we do have for application virtualization, which we use now with Citrix XenApp, guys? So there is a major one which you need to be aware, that is Microsoft AppV. Okay, this is known as a application virtualization over streaming. Okay, streaming. What is the benefit of AppV, guys? Let's see here. Suppose at the back end you have one XenApp server. Okay, and there are user over here. I have a small environment, just 2 user, one XenApp server, simple, nothing much. So I have a user over here who is looking for Google Chrome, and Chrome I installed in this XenApp server over here, Chrome version number 10. Okay, so okay, this fine, version number 10, user 1 is using, but there is a user 2 who is looking Chrome but version number 11. Now what I can do, man? Can I install one application with different version in one laptop? Is that possible, guys? What do you think? Can I install a Google Chrome version 10, 11, 12, like that, multiple versions in one laptop? Means multiple version of same software? No, right? So in this scenario here, version number 10 is required by user 1. User 2 is also saying, hey boss, I also required version number 11. Then what I will do? Either I have to install this version number 11 into another drive, maybe on XenApp server I have C drive, D drive, E drive, like that I can do in multiple drives. But that is not the solution in the production environment, guys, because how many drives would I have? One XenApp server in product, if I provide you an example of a big production environment like FedEx and all, one XenApp server handle more than 200 applications. Okay, and they in FedEx kind of environment, they have more than 2,000 XenApp servers. So it's a very big environment altogether. We can't work in this way. Okay, our C drive one application, D drive one application. No, we require a solution where it won't stop us to install multiple version of same software, and that's how Microsoft AppV come into the picture. Okay, this one. Before this MS AppV, Citrix was also having their product for streaming application called as a Citrix Online plugin, but after some time they stopped, and they make a cooperation with the Microsoft AppV itself. So now this Microsoft AppV, Citrix is providing a connecting plugin in the XenApp or XenDesktop itself. So when you will do the lab, you will see that part. Now how this works actually, you should know about the concept first. So here what happened, suppose this your XenApp server is a Windows server only. You are installing Chrome version number 10. What will happen? Inside the C drive program files, this installation will be done, and you will be able to see the exe file over there. But when we use AppV, this installation won't happen like this. Okay, inside the MS AppV, let's say this is my, let me clear from here. Okay,
The
suppose
MS app is a Microsoft Microsoft product only you are using in
yes,
the Citrix environment only.
yes, correct,
Uh,
correct.
Not other side. We can't get it app. No one
That's what I'm
using.
explaining. So MS
Okay.
AppV is a separate product from the Microsoft, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which we use along with Citrix. It's not like a mandatory. It's all about requirement. Like how I
Okay.
told you the requirement here. So just imagine this is the requirement in my production
Oh,
environment now. Okay. So there are multiple users who are looking same application but different version. Now how I will do? So what this AppV works. Suppose this is my AppV server over here. I'm just explaining the concept of AppV, not a complete training of AppV, because this is a different product altogether. But how this works on AppV server, okay, the moment when you will install Chrome V10, it will make a folder, which is also known as a package. Okay, let's say this package name you gave Chrome V10 version 10. Done. Now all the installation file, everything will be done inside this folder itself. Like generally how it works, if you install in your laptop C drive program files, and there you will get the installation to be done, right? Same thing, but here instead of going into the program file of this AppV server, installation will be done into one folder, and this folder is known as a package. Okay, so done. Now the moment when you required another installation to be done, then separate package. Now the beauty is there is no link with this package. This package, there is no link. That's the beauty, guys. That's why same server, but multiple versions of same software you are able to make it. Okay, because this installation is happening inside the packages, or you can say inside the folders, not inside your generic C drive program file x86 or something like that. That's why this, whatever the file inside this Chrome V10 package, those files are not aware what are the files inside the Chrome V11 package. And similarly, you can make multiple there.
So how is it doing? I mean, is it like creating a self-container type of as you're
Yes,
installing
exactly.
it, or do you have to provision that like container that okay?
No. You whatever you said the first line, that is absolutely correct. So it works on a container based. Yes. Okay. So like in AppV, there's a complete mechanism for that. There's the AppV management server. There's an AppV sequencer. There's the AppV production server. So there are multiple components in AppV. Okay. So they maintain one container for one application. They maintain another container for another application, and one container don't have any link with another container. So suppose in this case, just imagine you are asking me that, yeah, Prince, you already have a Chrome V10, can you provide this package to me? So you have a different environment altogether. Okay, I have a different environment in India altogether, but still this Chrome V10 package, there would be extension like this .fv. Okay, so this package I can provide to you. Simple. I can maybe mail to you, or maybe I can upload to any Google Drive or somewhere, and I can provide to you. You can download and you can put up in your management server, and simple, then you can start providing application from this package. That's the beauty of Microsoft AppV. Okay, in typical XenApp server, suppose tomorrow if you ask me that, Prince, I want this particular AutoCAD application to be installed. So boss, you have to install. Okay, I can just provide you the installer file, or you can download that installer file, but you have to install. But in MS AppV, that is not the case. If I installed, and suppose you know me and you require that, I can provide you to that particular package, because packages or containers are totally independent from another. There is no dependency. Simple. You can make dependency if required during packaging, during the time when you make a package. You can make a dependency if required, but as such there is no dependency. So you can simply provide this package from one person to another person, or one environment to another environment. They can make this pack, they can take this package in their management server, and they can start providing application from this package. That's the beauty of AppV, and that's why it is known as a streaming. Clear, guys? Getting a little bit idea about why AppV is required. I'm not taking you through complete AppV training. It's a totally different product altogether. But you should be aware, okay, why AppV come into the picture? Because in so many areas you will see, okay, in production environment, okay, AppV, they are getting application from AppV. So you should be aware what is this actually, how it works. Clear?
Yes. What about the vulnerability fix? New update is coming. If Chrome version 10, it's automatically it will updated, or
No,
once again
no,
once the
you have.
package we received from app server, then we can any connection with between the app B and our application? No.
No, no at all, not at all. That's something. It's an independent container. Suppose, as you are saying, okay, our Chrome version 12 I provided to you, but with the Chrome version 12, might be there is some security update came into the picture.
Yes.
So you have to do. There is no link like that. You have to.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. Clear this part, guys? Okay. Now, this was the application virtualization. And here, as I told, XenApp is the major one, which is no more XenApp. It become now XenDesktop itself, because these are not different products. Now, when we are talking about XenDesktop, which comes for desktop virtualization,
So this,
guys,
so
this
sorry, so they don't have the presentation server anymore, or that's
no.
is the same?
Presentation server is gone long back ago, guys. Presentation server was the version XenApp 4,
Ah,
4 and 4.5. It's gone long back ago.
yeah.
Now we are on XenApp 7.19 or 20 version, which is this and this. You can say like a totally different product altogether. This is already gone.
And so
Okay.
in 7, we're calling it all together the AppV.
App, yes, yes. So that's why that's what I'm going to explain now, that the product which we are talking about, this one, this is the future now, guys, and this is the big picture. Whatever earlier we had, XenApp, this series, presentation server, meta frame server, online plugin, this, everything is gone now. This is the future now. XenDesktop, this is the bigger picture now. Everything is combined in this product now, guys. That's why XenApp is no more XenApp and XenDesktop, everything coming together in one ISO file itself. While we'll make a lab, you will see that part. Everything is coming in one ISO file, and this new series comes together like now 7.19 and 7.20 is also there. Okay, what is the thing behind this XenDesktop, guys? So just first of all, you should understand that what are the things we are getting over here. You are getting here desktop virtualization, means any kind of desktop OS like Windows 7, XP, Windows 10, Linux, based on the version, because every version don't support every operating system. So that is something you can check the prerequisite on the Google documentation, sorry, Citrix documentation, and from there you will get it. But it support the desktop OS over here. So you can virtualize server OS also, like Windows 2012, 2002, 2016 also. You can virtualize application also. You can virtualize remote servers also. You can virtualize physical servers also. Okay, suppose this physical server, I'm giving an example. Let's say at home you do have your physical desktop, but you are traveling somewhere. Now that physical desktop, if you want, if you are that kind of user, and you would like to manage your physical desktop over the web, you can do with the help of Citrix. Okay, so it's not like a teammate, or it's not like a go to meeting or something. No, that physical server or physical desktop, whatever you do have at your home, you can make it registered with the Citrix XenDesktop, and then with the help of website, we can use over the web itself. Only thing is, network and power connectivity should be there. That is known as a physical server connectivity.
So
Okay.
is the compute being used on the server side or locally on your desktop?
Locally on your desktop.
Okay, so the compute resource is still local.
Exactly. So here, what is happening? Suppose this is your laptop. Let's say this is new laptop here, and you are somewhere on the remote location. Now you are trying to access this laptop. It is at your home itself, but you are trying to work in this laptop. Maybe there are some application or so and so usage. Okay, you are trying to access this laptop. So like how we access application or desktop into the XenDesktop, there would be one website. You will log in that website, and whatever desktops and application assigned to you, you can simply launch them. Similar case here. So here what will happen, whatever the desktop or means whatever the website you will log in, you will see, okay, and laptop over there. You will click on that, and your desktop remote session will be with you, and simply you can start working on that. Only stuff is the power and network connectivity should be there. Okay, this is something which helps a lot in production environment whenever we do have a physical server, but there is an administrator who is sitting at somewhere else, and he wants that particular server to be work. Then we can provide a session to him, and it can work. Clear, guys?
It's same like Teamweaver or something other application. That is different. No?
That's what I said. It's you can say like TeamViewer or GoToMeeting or something like that, but not exactly true. The reason behind in TeamViewer, in GoToMeeting, how it works, guys. Suppose you would like to see my desktop over here. Okay, or just taking a current example. Right now we are connected with a GoToMeeting. Okay, it's on a higher end compared to the TeamViewer. Now you are looking at my screen itself. Okay, so how you are looking at my screen? Because I'm also here, right? I'm also here. I'm presenting it to you. Then only you are able to see it. Otherwise, I can stop it from here itself, right? So there's a dependency on the receiver end. There's a dependency on the sender end itself. But in this kind of setup, there is no dependency. You will feel like, okay, this particular desktop is with you itself. Like how you are getting an application and you are trying to launch it. Similarly, your physical laptop would have an icon in your website wherever you will launch, and you will feel like this is something which is virtually present with me, and you can launch it. Simple. So you don't require a third person to be sitting on the receiver end who can accept the meeting, who can share the screen. Nobody else is required. Clear?
Yeah, so so the power and network is on the laptop, the compute resources is in the end user device, right? So like for example, like is it still similar to where, okay, like the graphics is being done on the end user, but the mouse clicks are going back onto the laptop? Is that what's the networking is?
Yes,
really...
you can say like that. You can say like that. Absolutely correct. Because there are multiple stuff over here. For example, n laptop. In this laptop, let's say this is the new laptop over here. In this laptop, you have so many of application. Okay. So the moment when you launch this laptop session over here on this end user, now inside this laptop session, you are launching an application. So where exactly those applications are running? Inside your laptop itself, right? Are you catching me?
Right.
Right? So those applications are running in your laptop because those are installed in your laptop. I am just getting an access. For example, right now this is my laptop which is shared to you guys, right? If I will provide you the access, you can launch an application which are available in my laptop. But that doesn't mean that it will consume your resources. No, it will consume my resources only because end of the day application is being launched in my laptop. Clear?
Exactly.
Right? So that's how it works. So how this is launching over here, what kind of session is that, what kind of protocol is that? That is ICA protocol, independent computing architecture protocol, less bandwidth consumer protocol throughout the history, guys. Okay, and that's the reason why Citrix product is so popular in the market when it comes to the desktop and application virtualization because of this ICA protocol. Trust me, guys, you will not get much detail about this ICA protocol. You will not get much detail about this ICA protocol, okay, over the internet at all. Only the information what Citrix is thinking, okay, this is absolutely fine if I will share with another one. That will be the only information. Okay, but if you think, okay, let me find out how this ICA protocol works, what is the coding behind it, and all those things, not open based, you will not get it. Okay, this ICA protocol is developed by Citrix, which works over RDP protocol, which is from Microsoft. Citrix and Microsoft are known as a brotherhood companies, guys. If you guys are aware, they works very closely in most of the virtualizing thing because Citrix is having dependency with the Microsoft Windows layer, and Microsoft nowadays is also providing a connectivity with Citrix cloud as well and the Citrix softwares as well. So there are so many things where they are connected. So that's why, because the moment when you install Citrix software over the Windows operating system, it modifies, I would say, 60% of the drivers of Windows. That's why they have to work together to make the better connectivity in among their drivers. It could be a video driver, audio driver, display driver, graphic adapter, lot of stuff. So ICA protocol also work over RDP protocol, remote desktop protocol. If your RDP is down due to so and so reason, guys, or if RDP is not enabled in your machine or in a server or in a desktop which you would like to virtualize, then ICA will not work at all. Simple. Now the beauty of the ICA protocol is, as I'm saying to you, it consumes very less bandwidth, and whatever data you works also, let's suppose you are launching a desktop or an application, all those things, it works over the combination of your keyboard and your mouse over click. So it make a combination of your keyboard stroke, whatever you provide, and your mouse click, and then only it send those combinations over the network from end user to the server, similarly from server to the end user. And then how this encryption got decrypted, and that's it works. Okay, the maximum bandwidth which consumed by ICA protocol for one user for one application is very less. That is just 20 KB, guys, not more than that. Okay,
I
so
didn't get
that's how.
I didn't get it that keyboard and menu mouse. What is the use of this one?
For example, suppose, let's say I provided you one application, similar one, AutoCAD application. Okay, now you launch that AutoCAD application. You heard about this one, IO, input output, right?
Yes.
Whenever we work on any application, how that application is working, it depends on your IOs. If your IOs are high, obviously application performance might get slow, because if you are providing so much of input to your application, then application will take time to process and to provide you the output, right? So what is this? This is the combination of input and output, which is known as the IOs. Similar thing over here. You launched an application over the ICA protocol. You are working in that application. End of the day, where the application is working? On the backend server, correct? Suppose this is your XenApp server over here.
Yes.
Actually, AutoCAD is installed over here. You are an end user here. Now you are launching this AutoCAD here, guys. So what you are doing? You are just taking a session. But end of the day, AutoCAD is working on the XenApp server at the backend, right? So the moment when you are opening this particular application, you started working, where that load will go on the backend server, not on your laptop, because you are just launching a session. Everything is going into a session only. So you are providing some input into the session. That input is going at the backend to the AutoCAD application where it is installed. Similarly, AutoCAD is doing something, providing you the output that is also coming into the session only. So this particular stuff, guys, it is not free flowing data. It is highly encrypted data, which is from your end. How will you work with an application? Either with the mouse, correct, or with the keyboard. Do we have any another way to work in the application? No, right? Whatever the input you would like
Yes.
to provide, either you will do mouse click or you will do the keyboard stuff. So whatever you are doing, it will read all those stuff, make an encryption container, will send over the session, and similarly application will send you the output. So this is how it works, guys. Yeah.
Yes. Got it.
Okay, so that's why ICA protocol is used in throughout the Citrix. It would be XenApp, XenDesktop, PVS, whatever stuff it is. It is used everywhere. Okay. So this particular XenDesktop, as I told, new series 7. From 7 onwards, now XenApp and XenDesktop both are on same architecture called as the FMA architecture. Now let me give you the overview. What is this FMA actually? FMA architecture, Flex Multicast Architecture. It provides so much of flexibility, and that is happening because of multiple services which we do have in our XenDesktop now. Okay, just imagine this is your one XenDesktop server. This is your another XenDesktop server. This is your Active Directory. This is your hypervisor. Here license server. Here you have a DB server. Obviously, if this particular XenDesktop server need to come into the environment, means online, it should have a connectivity with all the subordinate servers, all the infra servers. So this particular connectivity in FMA architecture is designed with different services, guys. Although regarding the services, I will explain in detail which service do what kind of work. But just for an example here, I'm showing you. Let's say this is working with the help of AD identity service. This is working with the help of licensing service. This is working with the help of broker service. This is also with the help of broker service. And this is something which is working with the help of host service. Now, if suppose this particular XenDesktop server have AD identity service which is down right now. So what will happen? This XenDesktop server will not be marked as offline. Only the functionality which was handled by this AD identity service will get lost, and only that part will get impacted. If you ask me, like, is my production environment will get impacted? Not at all. User will not come to know also what is happening in the backend. Similarly, if host service goes down, this one, what will happen? This XenDesktop server will lose the communication with the hypervisor. That's it. Does that mean that user will get impacted as of now? Not at all, because their sessions are there. We have multiple XenDesktop servers. They will get redirect to another working servers as well. There are so many stuff which we'll discuss in detail, but they will not get impacted. This is the flexible structure, guys. Okay, and that's why in earlier XenApp servers, when we were using 4,000, 5,000 XenApp servers like that, those 4,000, 5,000 XenApp servers are reduced now in 400 or 500 servers only in FMA architecture. Because in that particular architecture, which was earlier one, that was IMA, the problem was there was only one service, which was known as a backbone service. So suppose if this is an older environment and here you have a XenApp server, then all these communication were happening only with one service called as IMA. IMA. IMA, guys. IMA. Now, if IMA service of this XenApp server, just imagine this is the older XenApp server, 6.5. If IMA service goes down, what will happen? Immediately, this server will lose the communication from all the infra servers, and immediately this server will be marked as offline. Clear? That's the reason why in earlier XenApp server we have to keep so many servers to maintain the redundancy as well, to maintain the failover as well. Now in FMA architecture, we are maintaining failover here also, but way is totally different. Okay, infrastructure wise, we have to manage very less compared to the older environment. Clear? So I just gave you the overview why FMA and why IMA and why it's got demolished by Citrix now. Clear, guys? Any doubt here? Anybody? No, Bug or Ibrahim?
So right now, I mean, so like no services even uses IMA anymore, right?
Right. It's no more. It's no more. This IMA architecture was limited till XenApp 6.5. That's it. After that,
is it still somewhat, is it somewhat still like, because I remember like especially with IMA, like yeah, like if they say like the licensing server is down, doesn't it like still impact the other servers, like certain amount of time they'll go because they can't talk to that one?
See, for that kind of stuff, we have so many another stuff, or we have so many another technology also inside the product, which you will see in future when we'll proceed with the training. Okay, that if your license server down, we do have a concept of LSC, local host cache. We have so many another similar kind of concepts. So that's a different story altogether. That is not limited with IMA or FMA. That is a different story.
Okay.
Yes, because now in this FMA kind of architecture, we have so many stuffs, like if your even XenDesktop server is also down, guys, your existing user will not be impacted. Can you imagine? So just imagine over here that there are 1,000 users who are working. Okay, you have 500 XenDesktop servers at the backend. Although 500 is a very big amount. Don't take 500. Just imagine you have 100 XenDesktop servers at the backend. Out of 100 XenDesktop servers, if 75% also goes down, these 1,000 users will not be impacted, or these 10,000 users will not be impacted at all. That's the beauty of FMA architecture. So end user won't, end user will not come to know what is happening. Either backend server is down or not down. What is happening? No idea at all. Okay. The problem come into the picture when the base of your environment goes down. What is the base? Just imagine if this is an in-premises environment and all your virtual machines set up, all your servers are set up on the hypervisor. Although in hypervisor also we maintain the failover part, we maintain the redundancy part, So here we do have one hypervisor, then we have another hypervisor. Like that, obviously we maintain. But just imagine the worst case scenario, which I would say it happened with me when I was working in FedEx environment during that malware attack happened, I think 3 years back. Okay, so due to some reason, our data centers, our recovery servers as well, everything was down. So obviously, if your hypervisors are down, definitely these 100 users will get impacted immediately because base is down. Similarly, nowadays, if we are talking, let's say we have a hybrid environment where we do have hypervisor as well as we have cloud also. So nowadays also same thing happen. In hypervisor, the plus point is at least our hypervisor team can work. But nowadays, if cloud gets down, like right nowadays, I'm working on Azure and Python as well. So if your Azure goes down, we have to raise a ticket immediately with the Microsoft. What else we can do? Nothing, man. And Microsoft will check with their cloud team at the back end, and then they rectify what is the issue. Sometimes it takes long time as well. When I'm saying long time, 1 day or 2 day also it takes. Okay, so that's the reason, guys. In big in big projects, especially when it comes to the live projects like banking sectors and all, which can't handle even a single second downtime also, they still make a hybrid environment. When I'm saying hybrid, maximum structure they keep on hypervisor, means in premises, and a very small area they kept on the cloud. Okay, based on the requirement. But if we talk about the college structure, colleges, schools structures, okay, all the healthcare structures, these structures are going over the cloud completely. The reason behind, because if we are talking about the colleges, it's fine, it's fine. It's not that much of critical when it comes to the live applications. Okay, so that's why all these things are depend, or all these things depends on the requirement which is actually designed by the architect in your projects. Clear, guys? So don't think that okay, only in premises, don't think that okay, only cloud. It's all about the requirement at all. So I just gave you the overview where it come into the picture, why we use the cloud and why we use the hypervisor, and when we have to make a hybrid environment. So whenever we feel that yeah, these are very critical applications, and then those applications we don't kept on cloud, guys. We kept on the hypervisors, because on hypervisor our team can troubleshoot. We have very less dependency on the vendor itself. But in cloud, we have complete dependency on the vendor itself. Okay, yesterday itself, if you ask me, we had a issue regarding the mails. Okay, I was working on one script on the Azure with along with the Citrix. So we have some requirement where we have to send an email with the script, but that is not happening. Now what we can do? Nothing. We were just checking the email and we found okay, there is some issue with the send grid. Now we have to raise a ticket with the MS. So that's how it works in the cloud. Our hands are tied over there. Clear, guys? So do you guys have any doubt so far, whatever we had discussed? Because this was just a overview of the products which we are going to discuss further. So from the next class onwards, we will start working on XenDesktop first. So we will start our training further from XenDesktop. Then in XenDesktop, there are so many structures which you will look at, and then slowly all the products will come into the picture. Clear? Any
Sure.
question, guys? Yeah, tell me.
No, I just told okay.
Okay, no worries. Okay, anybody? Bhakt, Ibrahim, Noor, any question here? Don't hesitate, feel free, because our training is more like a discussion. It's not like a typical training kind of structure where you have to ask only at the last. So it's not like that. So it's simple discussion kind of stuff. Okay, guys. If you guys don't have any question here, then I won't take much time today because this is the first session.
Yes, I mean, I
So
don't know, Prince said, I don't know if we'll cover it later, but in terms of, are you gonna also like go over like the how Citrix does pricing or cost structure? Because I mean, that's
that will come into the licensing part.
okay.
Yeah, that's the Citrix licensing, because products are always free, but companies charges for their licenses only. So that is the part of licensing. So we will see in the licensing how they works and all those things. Okay.
But is there any difference? So like, I mean, well, with the cloud piece where, so if you do it like in your own server versus
Mm-hmm.
in the cloud, like, I mean, you're paying separately for the cloud, right? Like,
Yes.
or yeah. So like,
Yeah.
is that like the Azure cloud right now because of the merger, or like, or Citrix has their own cloud model that they?
No, see, there's a difference actually in the cloud which Citrix is having and the cloud which Microsoft is having. There's a difference. The cloud which Microsoft is providing, that is something where you can use all the stuff: IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS. IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS, all three together. Okay.
Right.
But in Citrix Cloud, that is not the case. We can't set up here IaaS. There's no infrastructure set up in Citrix Cloud.
Hmm.
Citrix Cloud is used for PaaS and SaaS only.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's why Citrix Cloud is something like, people are using along with the major vendor like AWS or Azure. That's the reason that Citrix is going to merge their Citrix Cloud with the Azure from the next year onwards.
Oh, okay.
Clear?
Okay. So like, even so I mean, I could still have SQL running, but it would be only as a like a pass model, like, and have it, with the
Correct. Yes. Yes. Now suppose you have to set up a complete structure. Let's say you would like to set up a Citrix environment altogether. Let's say DDC, XenDesktop server, and multiple SQL server, multiple license server. That is not the possibility on Citrix Cloud. Okay. That because for that kind of setup you require a IaaS service where you can set up your infra. That's how IaaS means, right?
right.
So for that part, you have to work with the base cloud vendors like Azure or AWS like that. But suppose you are already on AWS Azure and your environment is set up, but you would like to use few applications over the Citrix Cloud, that you can use. But slowly, that game is also going to be over once it will get merged. Then this confusion will not be anymore.
And is there any way, like, so from within Citrix Cloud, or to see like for example, the the ESX hosts processing, right? Or like compute, because like, I mean, I've seen it like where, like a hosting vendor, they're like, yeah, we're running 100 virtual machines, they're running it in a very old host, and that's causing performance issue, but they're just presenting the virtual machine, and it's like, yeah, we're giving you 2 gigs of RAM and whatever else, but the underlying host is over capacity, right?
Correct. Yes, it happened.
So, but like, so if it's in the cloud model, like, can you like, are you able to see what's the Zen server, like, what's the?
See, that's the thing which I'm talking to you, that in cloud model, okay, if it's a complete cloud model, then there is no concept of hypervisor from user end.
Oh, okay.
Are you catching me? Suppose if I'm trying to set up an environment over the Azure, obviously that's a task of your architect, because they have to check with the Azure Microsoft that what will be the charging, because their charging is totally depends on the tier level, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like that. Based on that, they will provide you the resources. Okay, you are allowed to create a VM of 24 GB RAM, 64 GB RAM, like that. So there if you are asking about the cloud, there's no concept of hypervisor. You will just simple give a command. Okay, you will go through there and you will make a machine and you install whatever it is. How those machines are getting set up at the backend, you will not get any idea at all. That's what I'm saying, that in cloud there are so many things which are hidden, because that is something which how cloud development team works in the data center.
So, but like, I mean, just in terms of just like from our regular knowledge, right? Like, I mean, so it's safe to assume that they're running some kind of hypervisor. It may be like a modified
Yes,
for,
correct.
specifically to handle their cloud infrastructure, like
Yes,
in a bigger scale versus, yeah.
correct. Yeah, at the backend, definitely. That's what I explained here over here, that cloud is just in a medium. Okay, at the backend in their data centers, obviously they are also on a virtualization technique only. That's how they are able to create the virtual machines for us. That's how they are able to provide a SaaS service for us, software as a service. So that's a definite like they are working at the backend on some kind of structure. But what structure is that? That is not something which we will come to know.
Right.
Because as when you are going to purchase the license or purchase, actually we don't say license here in cloud. In cloud we say subscription. So the moment when you are going to purchase subscription from a particular vendor, they can assure you about the performance, about okay, 24/7 we will be alive, or 24/7 your machine will not get down, or based on the pricing structure or whatever you are providing. But they won't tell you that on which particular storage your machine is going. They have the name called as a premium SSD, economy SSD, that's it. But which premium SSD is this? No idea at all.
And just one more, so like with specifically Citrix Cloud, is the traffic over internet, or like, do you have to set up VPN, or they have like when Azure they have the express or direct express route?
For that purpose, father of every security stuff, Netscaler.
Right.
Okay, so not only over the cloud, even in premises as well. Whenever that's why in every environment there's a networking team which will be separate one. So they handle every stuff regarding the Netscaler and the VPN and the access gateway, all those stuff. So that is there either in premises or over the cloud. We have to go through the VPN only. Direct over the internet, it's a totally unsafe. So that is not something which is handled.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, guys? Anybody?
What about Friday? What time it will be?
Okay. So yeah, Friday we'll connect at morning 6 a.m. guys.
So that's Thursday at
In
8.
India.
Yeah, 6 a.m. I'm talking about Indian timing. Friday 6 a.m. Indian timing I'm talking. Okay. Your timing will be Thursday evening.
Thursday 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and I think in this particular batch, I think Bhakt is from India only, right? Bhakt?
Yes, Bhagat. Yes, I'm from India.
So I think, yeah. So I think for you there's no concern, right? 6 a.m. is fine for you.
Yeah, in the morning, no.
Okay,
It's okay.
Okay then, perfect. No,
Just
no worries. We'll.
so one more, so Prince, so like, just like, so after the course is done, like, is there additional material we have to study, or like, basically
No,
after,
guys.
like, kind of we can take the
See,
practice exam?
okay. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. You see, this is one of the stuff which I have to tell to my all the trainees. Okay.
Mhm.
Just go with the flow of the training. That's it. Okay. right now you are not supposed to read anything from the outside right now. Okay, let few classes be done. Once that is over, then you are free to read anything from anywhere. The reason behind, right now we just started. Okay, and if you will go on any another over the internet, if you will search for some and so topic, it will make confusion, because we just started and you guys are not aware about the topics. So when we will proceed, at least you would have an idea about the topics and about the details about them. Then you will be free to read. So just wait for few classes. After that you will be free. And even I will also provide so many of content to you guys, but not right away.
No, I know. I don't want to read too many stuff.
No,
It's like
no. That is something which is required, because see, if you will do some research from your end, obviously you will get more and more. That is
Right.
always. Otherwise, learning will get stopped at the same time. So
Right.
that should be there, but not right now, because right now we just started. So there are so many things which we have to cover. That's why.
But like, I mean, in terms of just to be able to pass that CCA certification initially one,
It's more than
like, I
enough.
mean,
It's
more
more
than
than
enough. Okay, so
more than enough. Because the content which you are going to supposed to get after the training, or in midway of the training, that will be very huge, guys. So be ready for that. Okay.
What about these recordings? When will be they? When they will
Yeah,
be placed?
so I will tell you. So this recording is maintained by Srini. Okay. So I will inform him. I hope this recording you will get by end of the day, because it is actually get processed over the Citrix cloud, and from there he will provide you the link, and you guys have to download from there, guys. Okay. Now all these recording session, guys, please make a download, because over the Citrix cloud they will not sustain for long. Okay. So as soon as you will get the link, just download them, and then you can keep with yourself for how long you want. Simple. Okay.
that's good.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. Then we'll connect on Friday morning, and I will inform to Srini. He will provide the recording. I hope you like the session, guys, and feel free to ask.
Yes, bye, friends. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
Bye bye.